This is Mornings, LALATE.
It's a major morning here on Mornings LA as massive stimulus checks are available to millions of Americans before Christmas. And in this recording, we're going to go over these incredible stimulus checks before Christmas, how you can get these huge stimulus checks. These are low-income stimulus checks for low-income households. SSI gets stimulus checks. SSI, gets stimulus checks. SSA stimulus checks, VA, RB stimulus checks in every U.S. state. We're going to go over how to get these incredible stimulus checks before Christmas. Then we're going to turn to how to get stimulus checks during the week of Christmas and the week after. How to set it up for the new year so that you can get what viewers have been getting since the month of March on this channel. 18 months of stimulus checks, $3,000 of stimulus checks a month, 5 stimulus checks a month. And this is fast stimulus. Viewers like Johnny got his stimulus checks paid to him in 48 hours. And since Christmas is more than 48 hours, you can get these incredible stimulus checks by Christmas. Then use Christmas to get other stimulus checks on top of this. These are low-income stimulus checks, SSI, SSDI, SSA, VA get stimulus checks as well. Then we'll be going over the countdown to PEBT stimulus checks coming to LA. And those are for what happened in 2021. What also happened in 2021 was this. The proposal for 2023, brand new SS reform bill. We call it SS 200. That's just weeks away. The $200 raise of your benefits. The $2,000 stimulus check. We'll go over the latest details in that legislation, which includes the end of the marriage penalty and the removal of the income cap and the lowering the eligibility age of Medicare. Hashtag Purple Power, hashtag SS200. The stimulus checks news today also is followed with unemployment stimulus as Goldman Sachs announced more firings. And then we'll be turning to Darden restaurants where hospitality and leisure could also see more firings as well. We'll go over what could be happening. Plus, we'll be looking at the housing flips because that housing market is getting weaker by the minute. The toast is toasting and the butter is buttering. The bacon, not so much. And if Argentina scores another goal, I'll be very happy. The game is still underway. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, the deliciousness heats up here and in the World Cup. If the Argentinians score that final third goal, I think is what we need at the moment. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, let's get to the breaking news. It all starts right here, right now, on a big, bold, beautiful new broadcast of Mornings LALATE 2022. And good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. And boy, is it gorgeous here along the coast for a gorgeous new broadcast of Mornings LA. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Big stimulus checks are available to millions of Americans, law since the month of March. And these stimulus checks are low-income stimulus checks for low-income households. Individuals who make $75,000 less, you get a stimulus check. Married couple, $150,000 less, you get a stimulus check. These are SSI stimulus checks, SSDI stimulus checks, SSA stimulus checks, VA stimulus checks, RB stimulus checks. Law since the month of March, and viewers have been getting them. How much stimulus are they getting on this channel since March? Let's look at the details right now. They're getting on average 18 months of stimulus checks. 300,000 different stimulus checks heat up today's broadcast. And in those 18 months of monthly stimulus checks, they're getting on average about 5 checks per month, $3,000 of stimulus checks on average, and this is for you. This is fast stimulus, with viewers getting them in less than 48 hours. And how do you get these? We're going to go over the details of that in just a second. I want you to get all these incredible fast stimulus checks right now because you deserve stimulus checks before Christmas. Then we'll be turning to how to use the week of Christmas, before Christmas, and after Christmas to get more stimulus. And then we'll go to PEBT, stimulus checks countdown, then to that SS 200 legislation that could give you a $200 raise your benefit and $2,000 on top of that. Then we'll go to the market news and the unemployment stimulus at issue, as new firings could be coming to millions of Americans across the board. But first we start with these massive stimulus checks. These massive stimulus checks you can get before Christmas are huge. Why? Because they were passed in March. Viewers have got to them since March. They got them in November. They got them in December. They'll be getting them in January. They're monthly stimulus checks. So I want you to start getting stimulus checks right today. Going under this video, becoming a member. Go right in this video right now and become a member. Then apply for stimulus checks right today. Right after you become a member. If you are a member, apply for some stimulus checks right now, because Christmas is more than 48 hours away, and you can get those stimulus checks in less than 2 days. Would you like a brand new computer, tablet, and laptop for Christmas? You can get that. That is stimulus check N coming up in this recording. But without waiting, let's go right into those incredible stimulus checks right now to understand where they came from and what's at issue with these incredible stimulus checks. These incredible stimulus checks started in the month of March from Joseph Biden when he passed a series of executive actions which established the first 3 checks, and they are absolutely incredible. Let's look at those first 3 stimulus checks right now. Those first 3 stimulus checks were passed by Joseph Biden in the month of March, and they're absolutely incredible. And what are they? They are beautiful. They are stimulus checks A, B, and C. In the month of March, Joseph Biden passed stimulus checks for you, low-income households, individuals on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and railroad benefits. And that established the first 3 checks, stimulus checks A, B, and C, bringing us to then hundreds of different stimulus checks. And they're absolutely wonderful. Those are stimulus checks A, B, and C. The first 3 done by the President of the United States in the month of March. Viewers have got to them since the month of March, and you can as well today. But came Congress. In addition to the first 3 checks, A, B, and C, Congress passed other checks, brought us to hundreds of stimulus checks. And those hundreds of stimulus checks got more stimulus checks for members when I found stimulus checks A, B, L, M, N, and O, P, and Q. Become part of the Purple Power community. Join this channel right this second. Go right on the video, become a member, and get that membership newsletter for members that has all those incredible stimulus checks in them. Where do I apply for these incredible checks passed and that the Purple Power have been getting since March? In the LALATE newsletter. How do I get the LALATE newsletter? When does it come? The LALATE newsletter is delivered from me to you Monday through Friday, 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, via the YouTube alerts. Here's what the YouTube alert looks like. There it is. Go right down the YouTube alert, past the guy at the surfboard. There he is. Click the link and go right in and apply for these incredible stimulus checks one at a time. Go right past that guy. There it says View Post. See that button? Click View Post, and it sends you right to the newsletter. Again, what time does that YouTube alert come to me for that newsletter? 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is New York, New Jersey, Rhode Island, Atlanta. Then 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, which is Illinois or Chicago, St. Louis. Go down the alert. There's that alert again. Past the guy at the surfboard. Do you see the button? Click View Post and goes right into the LA newsletter. See that button, View Post? There it is. Click that button and it sends you right into the LALATE newsletter. And you apply for these incredible stimulus checks one at a time. And without a delay, we're going to go right into those first 3 stimulus checks right now. So you see how this works, and let's do it. Stimulus check A, a $6,500 stimulus check. This is for SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefit stimulus checks, low income stimulus checks. How do I get stimulus check A? Become a member. Go down the membership newsletter, stimulus check A, click the link and go right in and apply. And these websites are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So as soon as you're done with this video, you start applying for some stimulus checks. Become a member if you haven't. Go on this video, join the channel. Don't stop there yet. Go get stimulus check B. Stimulus check B is the stimulus check that gets people those 18 months of stimulus checks. 18 months of multiple checks per month. Hey, it is stimulus check B. It's absolutely incredible. Go down the membership newsletter to Stimulus Check B, click the link and go right and apply. And viewers from Stimulus Check B, again, are averaging those big payouts. Those big payouts are the result of Stimulus Check B. Let's look at that again. Everywhere. And those everywhere checks are absolutely incredible. 18 months of stimulus checks, $3,000 a month, five different checks per month. Get that incredible Stimulus Check B. It is the real great stimulus check. Then go get some Stimulus Check C, which is for rent, utilities, mortgage, and more. And those incredible Stimulus Check C's for people on low income, for SSI and SSDI, Social Security and Rural Benefit stimulus checks, have been paid to viewers of this channel for a long time. Do you want $30,000 of rent stimulus checks? Join this channel, become a member, and get Stimulus Check C. At Stimulus Check C in the membership newsletter, it tells you who to call, what to say, and how to say it. This is great for people who like calling. It's wonderful. 12 places to reach out to. Make sure you reach out to all 12 places. Then, do you want $15,000 of utilities? Go get some utility stimulus, as viewers like Mark's brother-in-law got by becoming a member. SNAP, absolutely. Combinations of checks. Mark was at $32,000 of stimulus checks. He went to $50,000 of stimulus checks. Then he went to $100,000 of stimulus checks, then $166,000 of stimulus checks for low-income SSI, SSDI, anyone who makes $75,000 less, or a married couple, $150,000 less. And then here's Lorraine. She was at $105,000 of stimulus checks. She went to $155,000 of stimulus checks. Again, these stimulus checks are fast paying. Fast, meaning 48 hours in the case of Johnny. Christmas is more than 48 hours away, and you want some stimulus before Christmas, don't you? Of course you do. So join this channel right now. Go under the video, join this channel. Welcome the nearly 100 new members to LALATE, the #1 most watched financial news channel in the subject matter since 2020, and get these incredible stimulus checks right now. Those are just the first 3 checks. A, B, and C. Look and see what date they were passed. Yeah, we're not done there yet, because then we're going to go to stimulus checks E through K. Remember, after the first 3 checks that were passed by Joe Biden, then came the checks that came from Congress. And those are stimulus checks E through K. Purple Power, become part of this proud member community right now and get these incredible stimulus checks E through K. And let's look at E through K stimulus checks right now. Stimulus check E is a beautiful FSC, federal stimulus check of $7,500. Love it. Then stimulus check F, $4,000 stimulus check. Go get it. Again, down the membership newsletter at stimulus checks E through K. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Rural Benefit. This is for you. Low income, this is for you. And it's all for the viewers of this channel, the members. Stimulus check G, 30% down, 30% discount. Stimulus check H, $2,000 stimulus check. Love it. Then stimulus check I, $8,000 stimulus check. J, $8,000 stimulus check. K, a $14,000 stimulus check. Oh, that is incredible. Those, again, are your stimulus checks E through K, passed by Congress after Joseph Biden. Then we go to the stimulus checks I found for you on top of this, because I'm always looking and researching lots of additional stimulus checks for you because I care about you. I want to make sure you survive a 2-year recession. And let's turn to those right now. These are stimulus checks L to Q in the membership newsletter after E through K. L, $100,000 on average of loan industry money. Wow. Then M, $4,000 stimulus check. Love it. Pay attention to the next one. Pay attention. Stimulus check N like Nancy. Do you want a computer for Christmas? Do you want a tablet for Christmas? Do you want a laptop for Christmas? And do you want free internet with that as well? Well, if you're a member, you can get it at Stimulus Check N's link. You click the link and you go right in and get it. And Lynn Glenn got that incredible stimulus check, and that's incredible tablet for N. Spelly got the tablet for N. You get that beautiful tablet, laptop, and free internet, low income, SSI, and SSDI. It's at Stimulus Check N, like Nancy in the newsletter. Then we go to O, 0 down payment, 0 closing costs, brand new mortgage, and then stimulus check P and Q. P is a beautiful refi, 3%, and Q is an $8,000 stimulus check. Wow. Those are your beautiful, bold, and wonderful stimulus checks law, since March. So let's recap a little bit more about these incredible stimulus checks. Largest stimulus check, $100,000. Smallest stimulus check, $8,000. Fastest routing time, 2 days. Stimulus checks for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. Stimulus checks for you. These were stimulus checks passed for you, and you means low-income households. Stimulus checks for low-income individuals. Low-income stimulus checks, SSI stimulus checks, SSDI stimulus checks, SSA stimulus checks, VA, and RB stimulus checks. Now let's go back to this graphic. I want you to dedicate yourself some time right today after you watch this video and before you watch the next show on LALATE to apply for some stimulus checks. Do it right now and get some stimulus checks before Christmas. But wait, I want you to use the week before Christmas, the week of Christmas, and the week after Christmas to get other stimulus checks on top of that. Why? Because once you get approved for stimulus checks on a monthly basis, they come automatically. So the viewers who got automatic stimulus checks in the month of November, because they got approved in October, will be getting them in December and in January and thereafter. With a 2-year recession, you want to get as many applications in right now and approved so that you are ready for a 2-year recession. Again, this is low-income stimulus checks. I care about you. SSI, SSDI stimulus checks. I care about you. SSA, VA, RB stimulus checks. And get these incredible stimulus checks right now. Again, these have been lost since the month of March. Congratulations to Dragon, who has gotten $170,000 of these incredible stimulus checks. Congratulations to Lynn Glenn, who had gotten 26 plus stimulus checks and then helped a family member get more months as well, 12 months of stimulus checks. And congratulations to all the viewers who keep on getting these massive sums of money. Now, let's go into some other breaking news that's fascinating, and that is what's coming to this channel and why it's important for SSI and SSDI. It is PEBT. PEBT stimulus checks are coming to LALATE in just a few days. PEBT, what is that? That is stimulus checks for households because of COVID and that were due in 2021, but they're just being paid out at the end of 2022, and there's going to be paid out in the early part of 2023. Are we still talking about COVID stimulus checks? We are, because they're very late. And that is why this next graphic is case in point. SS200. Hashtag SS200. Hashtag Purple Power. Hashtag LALATE. In 2021, the Democrats and the Republicans wrote a series of different bills, which they call Social Security Reform. I call the Social Security Reform hashtag SS200. What does it propose to do? It proposes to give you more money and then allow you to retain more money and allow you to make more money. It's all about moolah. In 2023 is the year in which the Democrats had always earmarked for this to be done, the second half of the first term of Joseph Biden. And this would reform SSI, SSDI, Social Security, rail benefits, and veterans benefits. First, let's go over the $200 monthly raise and the $2,000 stimulus check. First, the amount, there you see it, and then the why. The amount would be a $200 monthly raise of your benefits. This is in addition to the current existing raise you're getting next year of 8.7% on top of the 5.9%. This would be on top of that, a $200 monthly raise for you if you're on SSI and SSDI. That's what we call this campaign, hashtag SS200. Now, why? The concept is very simple. Your benefits are tied to something called COLA. COLA is determined based upon inflation, but when inflation's not moving, it doesn't give you much of a benefit raise, even though the cost of living goes up. So for many decades, your benefits checks were not going up because we didn't have inflation. And you were left behind. You were left behind specifically during COVID, says Elizabeth Warren, because things cost a lot more because of COVID, but it wasn't inflation caused. And you were not getting a bigger check and you had less money to live on. So the concept of this is they want to get you caught up very quickly. First, getting caught up with a one-time check to raise you up, $2,000 to raise you up. Then keeping you up to date with a $200 raise of your benefits. Wow, that makes total sense. And if you think it's out of after the fact, it's not, because that's what's going on with PEBT. They're taking care of the situation for 2021 right now for other households. Now, the next part of the SS 200 legislation concerns the ability to hold money and the ability to bring in more money. That's more money news, and let's go over that as well right now. They want to first remove the marriage penalty. The marriage penalty, in some cases, penalizes people on SSI and SSDI from getting married and potentially losing their benefits. It's a very old, outdated law, decades old. They want to get rid of it. Then they want to remove the income cap. You don't have to work, and no one is requiring you to work. But if you want to take a job, let's say it's 6 hours a week, let's say it's a temp job, just to make a few extra dollars on the side, or maybe you want to work full time, you cannot, under the income cap currently of a very old law, decades old, out-of-date law. They want to get rid of the income cap because if people want to work, they should be able to work. Finally, they want to lower the eligibility age of Medicare and benefits. So campaign for this. We are back advocating on Purple Power. Go on social media, tag your elected officials, tag me, hashtag campaigns, hashtag Purple Power, one word, hashtag SS200. That's SS200. Share the videos, tell your friends and family, come on over, and we're going to advocate for this incredible passage of SS reform in 2023. They promise it, you're owed it, and we're going to stay on point with this stimulus news across the board. And the other stimulus news that's coming back on this channel is right after that. It is Goldman's firing. What is this? Goldman Sachs is a beloved financial bank. It's doing financially quite well. It's not struggling. But a brand new report says that Goldman Sachs may be laying off 8.8% of its workforce, fired. And so without delay, that teed up the return of a beloved subject matter from 2020 back on this channel after a 2-year absence. And it's been here for 2 days, and it's staying here. Unemployment stimulus checks. Millions of Americans are going on unemployment, but you need to know how to get these unemployment stimulus checks. They're absolutely incredible. So let's go over unemployment stimulus checks. How do you get them right now? 2 steps, and let's go over each step one at a time. Because if you do it wrong, you could lose thousands of dollars. If you do it right, you can get tens of thousands of dollars of stimulus checks. All right, step 1. You were laid off as a W-2 employee from your boss. You go to your state's unemployment website. It may be your state's Department of Labor, or it may be your state's unemployment. It's in your state. Then you set up an account, presumably with your cell phone or your computer, and you put in your name, your email address, put in your bank information. I prefer you to get paid by direct deposit. Otherwise, you can get that little debit card in the mail. That's how I prefer to get paid. And now it's going to ask you about why and how you got fired. This is the most important question in step 1, the date. For the purpose of this example, let's say you had the boss come in to you and say, you're fired on October 1st, 2022. Let's use that as our example, October 1st. And you're hearing this recording today in December, say, oh, I got to go do this. When you go in and it asks you in the application, step 1, what date were you fired? You do not put a December date. You weren't fired in December. You were fired October 1st in this example. Make sure you do this right. Put in October 1st. If you do it wrong and put in December, what did you just do? You lost 8 stimulus checks, because you lost a stimulus check for every week of the month of October, every week for the month of November. Actually, it's more than 8. And now 3/4 of the month of December. Yeah, you do not do this wrong. Again, when it asks, what day were you fired by the employer, when it came and said, ma'am, you're gone, you make sure you put in exactly that date. You do not put in a later date. You put exactly the earliest date that you were told that you were fired. All right. Also in step 1 are 2 very, very simple questions. They're really bizarro questions, but once you hear them from me, you understand, oh, they're not that strange. You have to make sure you answer them correctly. Again, if you do this wrong, you get denied. Question number 1, are you willing to work? Answer yes. Question 2, are you able to work? Answer yes. It's yes to both questions. So what are those questions really meaning? The first question, are you willing to work? That's a mental question. Would you work if you had a job? Of course I would. If you say no, you're denied. because that means you don't have a desire to work. So remember, it's yes and yes for the two questions. The next question, are you able to work? That was the strangest question in 2020. Viewers just thought I thought it was a strange question. What do you mean, am I able to work? What does that mean? Do I have a car? What does that mean? No, they're referring to your body. Do you have arms? Do you have legs? Are you physically able to work? Of course I am able to work. I worked in October. I was laid off. Again, yes and yes. Make sure you answer yes and yes. If you don't, you get denied. All right, now your application is approved. You'll get a notification that says your application is approved. But in 2020, this is the most hysterical moment of the entire process when viewers said, I'm approved, I don't see any money. Did you do step 2 as I made in the recordings? Oh, I forgot. Don't forget step number 2. Now, the easy part of this is that if you forget, the website tells you, the unemployment website tells you you forgot to do step 2. So after you're approved for that unemployment firing on October 1st, what is it going to say? Hi, you have all 4 weeks of October to certify for benefits, all weeks of November to certify to get stimulus checks, and most of the month of December to apply for stimulus checks. It's literally going to tell you you have, what is that, 10 weeks of stimulus checks to go do. So it's going to start you on the first week since you were fired. That's the first week of October. And it's going to actually go through, and it's called certifying for benefits for that first week. When it's done, it's going to say, thank you, you're done with that week. It's then going to send you to the next week to do. Now, for purposes of simplicity, if you have a power outage and the computer turns off, your phone loses battery power, and you're like, darn it, I was in the middle of doing this, I didn't get to the next week. Don't worry. The website will remember you were in the middle of doing it in their application process. It'll prompt you and tee you up to continue where you left off. So don't worry about this. So it's going to bring you from the first week all the weeks up to the present. This is also great news. Why? Because if you just found this channel today in December, and you were laid off on October 1st, you may say, wait a second, am I late for this? No, you're not late. You're going to get a massive payout of stimulus checks right at the very beginning because you are going to go in and certify for nearly, 10 weeks of stimulus checks? Yeah. So these 10 weeks of stimulus checks will come right at the beginning in this example. Then, if you're early on asking for a week, it'll tell you you're too early. It says, ma'am, you're too early. Come back on this day. It's so simple. There's no way to mess this up because it really just takes you from the very beginning all the way up to the present. And that's what happened to Eileen Bellenkamp out of Florida. She got $15,000 as her first payment for unemployment stimulus. And Sharon out of Texas, absolutely same thing, because they were so late in finding me, they thought, no, they're not going to get paid. That's not the way unemployment works. They will pay you back to the date at which you were fired. Now, those are the 2 steps. The other breaking news we're looking at right today is where the other firings may be. And it could be in food and dining and also construction. Food and dining came in with Darden that reported corporate earnings on Friday. It was a top and bottom beat. They're doing really well. That's the parent company of Olive Garden. The stock was down 5% or 4.49% in the middle of trading on Friday. Why? Darden CEO says they're working at full capacity, and he's very happy with the company. He should be. They beat on top and bottom. But Wall Street's worried about the whole industry of food and dining. They believe dining out may suffer pressure from inflation in 2023. Not yet, says Darden CEO Rick Cardenas, says it's performing at high level and surpassed on its basis for 52 weeks on sales, the best performance in Darden's history. But yet the industry believes that food and dining may be the next culprit. So if you have a son or daughter who's a waiter or a bartender, get ready for potential unemployment claims. And then what over to housing? Housing, same problem. Housing flips are flopping. Housing flips are people who buy a home and try to resell in less than 1 year. This is great business for a plumber or electrician or a contractor. You may not be buying the house, but you may be getting work from it. And then you may get fired. If you're a W-2, make sure you get your unemployment stimulus in as well. And that is why the data today is not particularly good for the housing market. In the flip market, it is down 18% from the prior quarter. In breaking news today, this is the biggest drop in several decades that we have ever seen in the flipping market. In the big second half, we'll continue with these incredible stimulus news. Then we'll be going back into the latest details on those raise of your benefits, and we'll be going over how to get all this incredible low-income stimulus checks, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad Benefits, Veteran Stimulus checks. We'll go over more about how to get stimulus checks before Christmas, during the week of Christmas, and then we'll be turning to the markets, and we'll be looking at those unemployment claims, and we'll be looking at what number caused the markets to go into turmoil last week. Big stimulus coming up in the big second half. Go into this video, become a member, like the 100 members who did in the last 48 hours. I'll see you back in 60 seconds as Mornings LA continues on air.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues in the big, bold, beautiful mornings of Mornings LA. The new look of Mornings LA, the latest ticker on the screen shows you where the Dow closed yesterday. And the stock is in the bottom ticker. The middle ticker, the white, is the breaking news. Massive stimulus checks coming to millions of Americans across the board. 18 months of stimulus checks, $3,000 a month, 5 stimulus checks per month. This is fast stimulus, with Johnny getting paid out in less than 48 hours. So what are you doing? You go under this video and become a member right now. This is low-income stimulus checks for low-income households. $75,000 less, single individual, you qualify. Married couple, $150,000 less, you qualify. This is stimulus checks for SSI. This is stimulus checks for SSDI, SSA, BA, RB, stimulus checks. Remember that these are automatic stimulus checks once approved. So if you're approved for stimulus checks in December, you're getting paid in January and February. Viewers have been getting them all along. So I want you right after this video to go into the video, join this channel, become a member, subscribe, like the video, tell your friends and family, come on over, share the video on social media, and tell your friends on SSI and SSDI. This is a channel where people are getting $50 million since this channel launched, the leader of the subject in American broadcasting for financial news right now. Then what I want you to do is use the week of Christmas, the week after Christmas, to apply for more stimulus, because the more stimulus you have set up for the new year, the more you'll be getting every month. This is for all Americans. It's from the federal government. It has nothing to do with where you live, and it's absolutely incredible. Meantime, don't forget to advocate. Advocacy is back on this channel. It's hashtag SS200, hashtag Purple Power. Advocate for that Social Security reform to get more money, remove the marriage penalty, remove the income cap, lower the eligibility age, and get that raise of the benefits. The story that caused the market to go into turmoil this week was not so much Jay Powell, is this graphic: retail sales. Retail may be the next casualty of labor. How bad was this? You knew this because we had this data a week earlier when Goldman reported to us that the month of November was not good. November was Black Friday. October was Halloween. And Goldman at the time said November was lower in retail sales than Halloween. How could that be? They said it was a very bad November, and they saw December even weaker. And then this week we saw the official data. Here it was. The market's shocked. Apparently, they had not heard the Goldman report. The retail sales down 0.6% lower than the estimate EST of negative 0.03. The markets initially went down 200 points, then went down 900 points, then had 3 consecutive down days. Not particularly good. How about these new claims? New jobless claims on Thursday, 211,000. Continuing jobless claims, 1.6 million. What does that tell us? It tells us a series of data points that we got going into the weekend. And that data point is that this economy may not be as strong as many people thought. Wolf Research, in a brand new report obtained by LA News, says that the downward trend line could be continuing getting weaker. That brand new report came in late on Friday. I agree with Wolf Research. Then Disney got cut by Needham in the latest estimates. But let's go to some other breaking news that was critical. Dottie, whose name is Dot, had asked what's going on with those Treasury yields. Those Treasury yields have not caught up with the Federal Reserve, and they're still pulling back. But here are 2 reports that came in at the end of Friday. One I agree with and one I disagree with. And let's look at those 2 reports right now and get your name and your pens and your fingers ready into the live chat, because I'm going to ask you some questions. Here is the part in which we interact in this morning's show. The first report is from Chris. The second report is from Quincy. Quincy with a Q. And I know that people can say, how do I spell Quincy? Just say Quinn if you can't spell Quincy, because it's a hard name to spell. The first report from Chris. Do we agree with Chris? My answer is yes, Chris. Here we go. He said that in 2022, this year, the CPI was the biggest report of gauging this economy. I agree. That was absolutely correct. The Federal Reserve relied a lot on that CPI. You and I relied a lot on that CPI to determine how much your benefits are going up. Remember, they're going up 8.7% next year on top of 5.9% because of the CPI in the month of August and September. You remember those shows. So he says, Chris, that next year, the jobs report will be the major economic indicator that we will watch, and so will the Federal Reserve. What's his analysis for this? So this is very interesting. His analysis for this is the following, is that the Federal Reserve has 2 focuses: get the most people employed and get the lowest inflation possible. But if unemployment goes to the roof and we don't see 1.67 million continuing unemployed people, but let's say 2 million, and the unemployment rate surges up hideously high, the Federal Reserve may stop what they're doing. I think this is brilliant analysis. I don't think the jobs number will be more important than the CPI, but I think it will be a lot more important than ever before. So my answer is Chris, yes, if I was in the live chat. The next report is from Quincy, Q-U-I-N-C-Y. Quincy, yes. Quincy, no. I say Quincy, no. Bah humbug. What is Quincy's report? Quincy's report is that the Santa Claus rally could still come next week or just come late. Excuse me? The Santa Claus rally happens every month of December, starting on the 10th trading day of the month of December, which this year is December 14th, where stocks go straight up. You want this to happen. You want the market to go up because December is a down month. It hasn't happened. This week has been horrible, straight down. So what Quincy says is that the Santa Claus rally could still come late. Well, here's 2 parts of the equation. It can come this week, we're going into, because we're still days away from Christmas. But can Santa Claus rally come after Christmas? Let's run the quote. The market doesn't care when Santa arrives, just that Santa actually shows up. Quincy, big no. Quincy, big no from me. I do care when Santa Claus shows up. I do not want Santa Claus showing up for Valentine's Day. I'm not dating Santa Claus. I want his darn Christmas gifts. Santa Claus needs to come by before Christmas. So what the world is a Santa Claus rally, for Easter? It's a Santa Claus rally by Christmas. And that gives us a very, very tight frame. That means that this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday's broadcasts are very critical. Actually, I don't even know if the markets are open on Friday. I don't think they're open on Friday. So we have a very short time frame for this Santa Claus rally to start. It hasn't started. And it has to start before Christmas. Otherwise, it's a big Chris, it's a big Quincy no. Coming up next is Holidays LA at 11 a.m. It features the latest details on how to prepare for Santa Claus and his Santa Claus rally. Then at 3 o'clock, we have an afternoon show. And then on evenings, we have lots of shows. Remember, LALATE 1 has that live show airing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if you want these incredible stimulus checks and want to pounce as a Purple Hawk, jump into LALATE 1 at any time and watch that live show. Programming continues on LALATE 1 all throughout the day with holidays at 11, afternoons at 1, 2, 3, and evenings LALATE starting at 5, and then the live show again. On Channel 2, Stimulus Live got a brand new show. It's called Stimulus Tonight. And Stimulus Live airs 24 hours a day on Channel 2, and Stimulus Live is about 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday. And on Channel 3, Wall Street Live as well. From the shores of San Marcos, California, become a member today. Apply for those stimulus checks today. Get that stimulus before Christmas. Get that tablet, computer, and a laptop, or free internet, or a combination of them before Christmas. Do it all and make your Purple Power family proud. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.